Everybody has their comfort picks, right? When it comes to warframes, weapons, companions, you name it. The Ignis Wraith has been my comfort pick for the better part of 2 years now, and it's easy to see why. It basically has everything. It has good damage, fantastic usability, ease of use, and a whole lot of AoE. What's not to like? And who better to showcase the legendary Ignis Wraith than Ember Prime? Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Lazer, and today we're going to be diving deeper into the Ignis Wraith. As per the usual, I'm going to have a cheap build, something affordable that most players should be able to build, but of course we also have the endgame set up with a Riven, even though the disposition for this one is set to 0.55, which means 1 out of 5. But please keep in mind that my builds and guides usually take a new player friendly approach. I'm gonna take my time and explain whatever I feel is necessary for newer players. So in case you're a vet and you already know most of this stuff, please bear with me. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Ignis Wraith. This video is brought to you by me and all the fantastic people that choose to support the content. Thank you guys so much. Want to get access to fantastic perks such as loyalty badges, custom wallpapers, and the option to vote on what I work on next? That's how this review happened, by the way. Check the link in the cards right now or click on the join button which is next to the subscription button. You can support the channel via Patreon, YouTube membership, or even Twitch subs. Links are in the description down below. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped. And for that, our usual free shots. The Ignis Wraith is a beam weapon with an absolutely staggering range of 27 meters by default. Allow me to show you. So this would be 26, 27. And I'm easily hitting my targets. Not only that, but you can force that to 30 meters. Because at the point of contact, or at the end of the range, the weapon will be generating a 3 meter radius AoE. So you can hit multiple targets relatively easily. And if that wasn't good enough for you, this one also has infinite body punch through. Let me say that one more time. Infinite body punch through. It does not apply to surfaces. It will stop in a surface unless you mod it with punch through, but it will go through basically everything in sight. Wait, there's more. If you aim this one just right, you're gonna be able to hit basically everything because the thickness of the beam is 0.50 meters. And also the weapon takes Firestorm, just so you know. Not that it's a particularly wise idea, but it does work. And if this range is still not enough for you, if you want to hit your enemies from Kingdom Come, you can use Sinister Reach on the weapon. Wait, there's actually still more. The weapon comes with a huge magazine capacity of 200, which is absolutely insane. Not only that, but quick reload. Done. Ready to fire again. Absolutely insane. And this being a beam weapon, you're gonna be getting 2 damage ticks out of each and every single ammo. That's basically how beam weapons work. One drawback to beam weapons, which is honestly such a minor drawback, the damage ramps up from 35% to 100% over the course of 0.6 seconds. That's less than a blink of an eye, essentially. Or is it more than? I don't know, something like a blink of an eye. After firing stops for 0.8 seconds, the damage decays back to the original 35% over the course of 2 seconds. This is a beam weapon thing, again, so you got positives and negatives. Honestly, the whole damage ramp up system never really bothered me to begin with, so bear that one in mind. My friends, when it comes to usability, it doesn't really get better than the Ignis Wraith. This is top-notch, absolutely insane. So, let's have a look at stats and let's talk about how do you get the Ignis Wraith. There used to be an event in Warframe that some clans did, and they got the thing where they generate blueprints now. That's the very simple version of it. So if you're on PC, Xbone, or PlayStation, make sure to ask for a blueprint in the trade chat or whatever chat, a friend, something like that. Nice Tenno will offer the blueprint to you for free. I think it costs them 10,000 credits or something like that to actually generate one. And other people charge you plat. So there you go. If you're on Nintendo Switch, however, you guys never got access to the actual event, so you have to buy it from Battlekey Tier, the Void Traders, and it's about 500, 600 dukes, something like that. Trust me, it's worth every single duck. See what I did? Never mind. Now, mod capacity is 60 out of 60, and if your Ignis Wraith comes with 30 out of 30, jump into actions and plug in the Orokin Catalyst, doubling your mod capacity. 20 plat to have one installed, or you can farm one from Nightwave, and you can also get a blueprint from the Daily Sortie. Some events in Warframe also feature a Orokin Catalyst as a reward, and this weapon is definitely worth catalyzing, if you know what I mean. Now, my weapon is 4 mod 8 times. That's not important. For the weapon build, I'm recommending you guys 3 for Forma maximum should do it. The accuracy on this one is 100. Being a beam weapon, it can take heavy caliber without any issue whatsoever, even with multi-shot. Again, you gotta aim that beam slightly above enemies' heads, okay? So you can use that thickness to your advantage. So you saw the weapon without heavy cal, and here she is with heavy cal. I think the flames jiggle a little bit more. Honestly, it does not really matter. And the orange crits are from Vigilante armament. So 100% heavy caliber is usable. Doesn't necessarily mean that we should use it per se, because the base damage on the Ignis Wraith isn't really all that high, but heavy caliber is definitely a viable option. Crit chance and crit damage. Is it worth or not? Base crit chance is low at 17. Not horribly low, but low. And the critical multiplier is actually quite nice at 2.5x. So this one will do well with Harrow if you want to use it with Harrow, definitely. But long story short, it's still worth building critical chance and critical damage on the Ignis Wraith. And I will demonstrate exactly why this. Fire rate of 8, this is low for that magazine capacity, for that quick reload. This should be something like double that normally. But again, we do have mods that can fix that. Magazine, as you saw, 200. Multi-shot of wine, noise alarming, reload of 1.7 seconds, super quick, man. So you can see, D used to make weapons like this. Huge magazine, quick reload. Basically, it's non-stop go with this weapon. Riven Dispo is down. What did you expect? Last time when I reviewed this weapon, it was back in 2018, and back then it did have like 3 or 2 out of 5, something like that. Rivens are not really worth getting for the Ignis Wraith for this particular reason. You're gonna need a really good roll for this one. We're gonna talk about Rivens just a bit more later. 29% status chance, which is absolutely yummy, and 35 heat damage by default. Now the damage isn't a lot. Still better than the Soma Prime though. So there's like more than, like almost triple than the Soma Prime, right? And it's heat damage. Heat damage right now in Warframe is the most powerful single element you can have on a weapon, which is absolutely huge. You guys play the Heart of Deimos? This weapon is ideal to go down to Deimos and set the infested on fire, essentially. Especially considering that they are immune to the viral status effect, a whole lot of them. Now, when it comes to the Weapon Excellence mod slot, honestly, nah, you know what, leave this one locked. Leave it locked, don't unlock it, because there's really not much you can put here. Vigilante supplies, sure, with a lot of fire rate, yeah, you can use this one, but then again, you have carrier with ammo case and pads and I don't know, a Warframe to give you ammo or something, like the new girl, what's her face, Protea. Again, you can unlock this one if you so desire. I think it's a waste of 20 plat, but that's just my 2 cents. Now, let's have a look at the standard build, shall we? And you got damage with Serration, multi-shot with split chamber, critical chance, critical damage combo between point strike, vital sense, and malignant force. We got 4 slots left on the weapon. Now this one doesn't matter, the Excellence again, but these 3 are open because it really depends on you what you want to do with the weapon. You can play with the weapon in multiple different ways. Don't necessarily think that there's one way to roll them all necessarily in Warframe. It really depends on what you're doing, where you're going. You want to have fun, you want to try something quirky and gimmicky, or do you just want damage, more damage, or anything of the sort. It's really up to you. I'm not judging. What? I'm not. Now, let's try the non-meta way first. I love Corrosive. Do you love Corrosive? I don't know if you love Corrosive, but I love Corrosive. Why do I love Corrosive? I really don't know. But high voltage, this one can be farmed from the mission Nilgar Planetaris, find all the free secret caches, then upon extraction, 5% chance at this one, or Shell Shock. You're gonna need both of them. Battle does bring these once every 2 to 3 months, something like that. It's better from Battle because the farm on Nilgar, at least for me, was absolutely silly. So we got Corrosive on the weapon. Not only do we got Corrosive on the weapon, but we got Corrosive Heat, which is absolutely insane because Heat right now does remove some of that armor. So right now, if I'm hitting Ferrite armor, I basically have the best chance of taking out targets really quickly, especially considering how fast this weapon ticks. What more should we put on the weapon? Well, we did say that heavy caliber is not necessarily a bad idea, so let's go with heavy calibre, and in the last slot, this weapon desperately needs some fire rate. What fire rate per se? Well, I'm gonna go for my favorite, Vital Acceleration. You can go with Shred if you want to, it's 55% fire rate, and the punch through on this one basically generates punch through surfaces. If you want to shoot through a wall and hit enemies on the other side or something like that. I don't think that the Ignis Wraith really needs to have punch through. Firestorm to increase the radius of the thing, it's only 24% on 3 meters. It doesn't really matter, if you ask me. What about if you don't like the minus 15% damage on Vile Acceleration? This one only takes away 15% damage of your Serration or your Heavy Caliber. It doesn't matter all that much, but if that scares you off, just go with Speed Trigger. But trust me, this is the way to go. And let's populate that weapon next to the slot, since I'm just doing this because I unlocked it and I don't know, I want to have something in there. Look, Aim Glide. I love Aim Glide, mama. Give me Aim Glide. Oh, God. Oh, let's make sure that Ember doesn't have anything to skew the test results. Nothing. We good. Now, my friends, once upon a time, paused AI targets used to generate extra damage in the form of a stealth multiplier. This has not been the case for 2 years. Stop it. For 2 years, it has not been the case. So you need to stop. So, let's see what the weapon can do against Corrupted Heavy Goons level 100 into non-meta. What do you guys think? I think this is absolutely insane, man. Take a look at this. I burned basically everything to a crisp and I still have half my magazine capacity. And you know what? 1.7 reload. Easy, quick, fast, powerful. What more do you want? The Ignis Wraith always has been one of the most powerful weapons in Warframe. Now it's true, other weapons have came out with a bigger punch than the Ignis Wraith, but when it comes to usability, when it comes to ease of use, when it comes to AoE, there are few weapons that can match this kind of potential. Still, everybody's dead. I was a bit more efficient now because I used that infinite body punch route to my advantage. Now I got, what is that, 70% left or something like that. 70, 60, 70% left of the magazine, which is absolutely insane. And that's not even the best build, believe it or not. That's not even the best build. Let's try something with a bit more hump, shall we? Is it worth using Hunter munitions on this weapon? Yeah. Yeah. It is. I'm sorry to say this, but yes, it is. Go with Hunter munitions. Take up high voltage and go with the 60-60 cold mod that you get by doing spy missions. Trust me, it's not that hard. If not from the PC trade chat, you're looking at something like, I don't know, Templat. There is a question, Vile Acceleration versus Heavy Cal Laser, which is better? In my honest opinion, and from a mathematical perspective, Vile Acceleration should be better. Okay, but if you prefer bigger hits, bigger slashes and all whatnot, you can go with Heavy. You know what, I'll just show you two really quick. It's just gonna take like 2 minutes anyway. You can't say that my videos are short anyway, so it's fine. Here we go, Viral together with Mumu. Viral Moom. 50% on the target, watch the slashes, absolutely annihilate. And what is the critical chance on this weapon right now? 40-something%! It's not even all that high! This is how powerful this combination is right now in Warframe. And this one is dead, taken away, this one's taken away. And I'm talking about the combination, of course, of Viral together with Mumu on any primary weapon that has a decent amount of critical chance. Now, if I was to have a target with, I don't know, a couple of trillion HP or something like that, and I would have kept firing, obviously this build would have ramped up a whole lot better than the other ones, but it really depends on when exactly are you gonna meet a target like that. Hunter munitions is worth it. Hunter munition is viable. You can build a weapon like so if you desire. Let's take off Vile Acceleration. If you want bigger slashes, yes, mama, I like big slash, mama, big slash. Let's go like this. What did Aim Glide used to do? I forgot. I can glide more while aiming or something of the sort. I forgot. Anyway, this was a Heavy Caliber instead of Vile Acceleration. And the value of the slashes are gonna go higher because they are being held by Heavy Calibre, as you saw there. Almost got a kill on this one, but again, till 50%, then watch the slashes deal the damage. It's really up to you. I would recommend Vile Acceleration simply because from my humble point of view is a bit more fun, but you can go for something like this if you want to be a bit more lenient on your ammo. Let's say you're planning a really long survival and you don't, if you're planning a really long survival, you have pads with you, right? You have ammo pads. So that argument doesn't really stand. Alright, that's pretty much it for standard builds. Again, you have a couple of options. The weapon is extremely powerful. You gotta have it. This is the type of weapon that everybody should have in their arsenal, from my humble point of view. It's simply that. It's a comfort pick. It's basically almost anybody's comfort pick. It's that easy to use. Riven setup. Amalgam Serration, why? This is an option. This is entirely up to you. Do you want to sacrifice 10% from your Serration for 25% sprint speed? From my subjective point of view, totally worth. So this is the build I normally use. And believe it or not, this Riven is legitimately mine for once. And I rolled those 42. And this one is also mine. And I rolled those 6. But no luck, no luck. Now, Rivens are not really worth it. I got damage, critical chance, and minus ammo. The roll is actually not that bad. Multi-shot would still be better. Critical chance really helps out Hunter munitions, and I don't like to play with Hunter munitions. So from a strictly personal perspective, this doesn't really help me all that much. Take my word for it, wait on Ignis Wraith Rivens if the dispo goes up, but I don't think it will, as the weapon is extremely popular. And since this is my build, I run Corrosive with high voltage and Malignant Force. This is what I normally use on Deimos. I don't use viral because they are immune to viral. And if you don't use viral, there's no real point to using Hunter munitions. Okay, so bear that one in mind. At least on Deimos. If you're going somewhere else, then it's fine. Just switch to Mumu and viral setup. This is the difference a Riven will make. It's not a huge difference, as you can see. You can spot a difference. You can run the math if you so desire. It does make a difference, but it's definitely not a huge one. So again, on the other hand, if you really love the weapon and you're trying to get the absolute most you can out of it and there's nothing else for you to do because you're a veteran, then sure, try to max out your Riven and all whatnot. And pray to God that D will increase the disposition like that will ever happen. When it comes to Warframe buffs, there is a bunch of Warframes that you can use. The top of the list are going to be Harrow, which will give crit to the Ignis Wraith, and of course Lady Mirage Prime. We're going to be using Lady Mirage because overall, even with all of Harrow's crit, he can't possibly match Lady Mirage Prime. Let's talk about buffs, shall we? Corrosive Projection against Grenier as per the usual, minus 18% armor. It used to be more powerful. I think it used to be minus 23%. Correct me if I'm wrong. Definitely correct me. But the point is, against heavily armored target, this is still the way to go. But if your build requires something like Shield Disruption, or I don't know, whatever else, simply go for the aura that you chose. It's not going to make a humongous difference unless you're doing actual higher level content. When it comes to arcanes, you can go with Arcane Rage on this one. On headshot, 50% chance for a 180% damage to primary weapons for 24 seconds, and the usual Arcane Avenger R5 as our second choice. On damage, 21% chance for plus 45% critical chance for 12 seconds. Bonus additive after, simply stacking on top of what you already have, applying to your primary, secondary, melee as well. This being a primary weapon, you can also use the Sentinel trick. And you know what? If I'm going Ignis Wraith, and I'm going to be going with something like a whole lot of fire rate, you can even put more fire rate than that on the weapon if you so desire. Then make sure you have your little Helios with the ammo case. No, wait, it wasn't Helios. Sorry, it was Carrier together with ammo case, as you can see right here. Now, on your Sentinel's weapon, to pump up the damage a little bit, the DPS of your weapon, make sure you have all the Vigilante mods. Offense, supplies, fervor, and armaments for the 20% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. Even if the little Sentinel dies and never comes back to life, you will still retain those buffs. Yes, fantastic. Level 150 Corrupted Heavy Goons. We're going to be unpausing the AI so they can hit me and I can get my buffs. Now, my Mirage has Empower, so I go Empower, free a massive Eclipse buff of 818, and then I go again Empower, and we're going to be activating her ever so lovely clone. You see what I did there? You know what I did there. And of course, my friends, now you see him. I didn't even get to finish. I didn't even get to... That's just rude. That's just bloody rude of the weapon. But that's the Ignis Wraith. That has more or less always been the Ignis Wraith. It's not even the most powerful build that I can put on it. It's basically corrosive, right? Versus these guys. Don't get me wrong. It's, as you can see, quite powerful. And the weapon will basically shred whatever you point at for the most part. My friends, once again, highly recommend one of the best primary weapons in Warframe from my humble point of view. And this is not just about the damage, this is also about ease of use, usability, and how effective the actual weapon is. Because DPS is one thing. Paper damage I can calculate all day. Honestly, it's not super difficult once you get the hang of it. But when it comes to actual real-world performance, a lot of weapons see a huge difference between what's on paper and what actually transpires in gameplay. The Ignis Wraith, however, never let me down in like 2 years of usage or something along those lines. As always, my name is Lazar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if you got any sorts of feedback for me, by all means, drop it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below, if you guys want to suggest any particular type of content, like I would like to see this weapon review or that weapon review, or perhaps do something else, Lazar, stand on your head while balancing a plate, or Well, you can ask for that. Nobody said that I would actually do it. But you can also find me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. And if you love the content, consider supporting us via Patreon. But until next time, my friends, bye-bye.